Happy Wednesday, everybody. We're back again. We're here. Happy New Year as well, because it's a brand new year. It's 2022. 2021 went by so fast. Michelle, I was looking at it. I think we almost did this for it'll be a year in like March or so. So it's
Yeah,
pretty awesome how
I know.
how
It's
time
great.
will fly on by, how we just been doing something great like this. Um, but like every Wednesday, we come in here to share some nuggets and hope that they help you out in our business, some things that we're doing, that we heard, that we want to share. And so, Michelle, would you like to kick it off this morning, or would you like me to? What would you like to
I
do?
know, I know that you had some good stuff you wanted to talk about with change, and I also have some things, but I want to hear what you have to say first, and then I will dovetail into that.
Absolutely. So let me do this right here. Let me start off with this story right here. Or it's not even just a story, but let's just say, for instance, I know we're in the transformation throwdown, so this won't be equivalent to healthy snacks, but let's say we're going to a vending machine, everybody. Let's say you wanted something out of the vending machine, whether it was that candy bar, that chips, your kids wanted it. Somebody wants something at the vending machine, and it costs $1. And you go up there with 99 cents. Are you going to get that item out of the vending machine with 99 cents? In the comments, if you're going to get it out, if you're going to be able to get it, then say yes in the comments. If not, then put no in the comments for me. And that is what I'm watching people do in their business. That is what I'm watching people do in their fitness. That is what I'm watching people do in their finances. You're not getting that item at the vending machine unless you do what? Give 100% of what it costs. You want to get to the weight that you want, but you don't want to give 100% towards working out and changing the way you're eating habits. You want to change your business, but you don't want to give 100% on your free time towards your business. Yes, I understand you may work 9 to 5 or 8, whatever times you may work, or you may work overnight. But on those 2 hours, are you giving 100% on income producing activity? I'm not saying scrolling down Facebook and say, hey, I seen Michelle on there and that's my friend and I want to talk to her about it. No, are you actually picking up the phone and say, hey, Michelle, I got something I want you to check out? It may or may not be for you, but income producing activity. See, the only way you're getting that thing out the vending machine is you're giving 100% of the change. And the only way you're getting to where you want to be in your business is you got to give 100% to the change. It's 2022 and it's time to stop kidding around with yourself and throwing it off. It's time for you to attack what you want. And there's no better time than right now. You got so many different programs going on that you can utilize to start your year off just right. And so that financial goal you want, I hope you wrote it down. Whatever it is that you want in this year, maybe you just want to, maybe you make $50,000 in your job and you want to make $50,000 in your business. Okay, it starts with change. It starts with change. It doesn't start with anything else, because doing what you're doing has gotten you to where you are in your life right now. Point blank, period. Where you are right now is equivalent to what you started 5 years ago. 5 years ago, whatever you did in your life, whether you're in debt, you're overweight, or you're not at the rank that you want, it all started 5 years ago. Whatever you were doing in your life was accumulated over time, and that's how you got there. So what is 5 years in that from now going to look like for you? Are you going to make a change? You're going to say, you know what? I got to give 100% to that machine. Because that's the only way I'm getting that prize out of there. That's the only way I'm getting that token out of that machine. That's the only way I'm going to be able to play. It doesn't matter what kind of vending machine. It doesn't matter if it's a video game or arcade game. It doesn't matter. Until you pay full price for it, you're not playing the game. You're not getting that item. So until you play 100%, you're not going to get to the title you want. You're not going to have the team you want. You're not going to become that person you want. I know it's a new year. A lot of people are in the gym and wanting to work out, but guess what? If you don't give 100% to the change on a consistent basis throughout this year, next year at this time, you're going to be sitting down and say, hey, I got to do it all over again. And a lot of time we see a lot of people quit because They aren't up for the change. They aren't up for the challenge because it's gonna be consistent effort. So everything you see in your life, everything you see, everything you can physically see and mentally see, you can accomplish it. The reason, think about it. Somebody had the idea that we could be on Zoom and we could talk in different parts of the world and do it, and it's created. Now we're doing it. Now we're able to. Somebody had the idea of creating a cell phone where we used to have landline phones where we had to press the buttons and you used to have to call people. And it goes back even further, with the cars. And now we're driving cars and now they're even working on cars that float off the ground. See, if you can think about it, you can get it accomplished. So that physical transformation you want, you can have it because you already thought about it. Now you just got to be willing to change and do the work, because the work is very, very important. And calls like this and group chats and telegrams and Facebook Messenger groups and just being around good people and people that are on the same mission you is power. Proximity is power. This lady shared this with me the other day, and it was powerful because she said proximity is power. So when you are around people that are uplifting and inspiring you and going in the same direction you, their weight loss transformation may be different than what you're shooting for, but because y'all on the same mission and around each other, it's power, you guys. And so, and a couple other things I want to say is, I can get on here and motivate you all day. I probably could, read something and bring it back to you. But guess what? I always tell people motivation is just like a shower. It's something you're going to need every day. Something you're going to have to, I hope you take a shower every day, and I hope you brush your teeth and take care of your hygiene every day. But those are things that are just something you got to do every single day. You got to listen to things. You got to read certain things. You got to jump on Zooms like this and just get knowledge and be able to go on. But so those is what's going to get you going. That's what's going to get you up out the bed. That's what that motivation is going to do that. You can go to YouTube and listen to Eric Thomas. I promise you, as soon as you get done, he going to make you jump up out your seat and ready to go. But what's going to keep you growing is your discipline. Your discipline for change is what's going to keep you growing. I can ask TL, somebody who's made multi-millions in this industry, and I promise you it's the discipline of change throughout her life doing this industry that allowed her to do that. Michelle, the same way. Michelle today is a different person than she was last year because she was disciplined on changing. I see Melissa Jackson on my screen as well. Her transformation already that's happened all came about because of discipline in changing. Her discipline is what allowed her to grow to where she's at just now. And for you to get to the next level, you got to still be willing to change. My physical therapist said, hey, we're doing something different this week. And I'm like, oh, he's like, yeah, every week we're doing something different because a lot of times when you keep doing the same thing over and over, your body gets accustomed to it, and then you start to get lazy and you find ways to shortcut it. So when you change up just something simple, so maybe you did all this week, you're reaching out to 10 people every day. Well, next week, make it 12. So the discipline and change will allow you to adapt, and then your mind won't get focused on trying to find shortcuts in certain things. And also, consistency is the big thing I wanted to talk about with your change. In this changing aspect, you got to be consistent. Don't do it for 2 days and say, all right, I'm done. No, you need to do it every single day. You got to be willing to change. If you want 2022 to be different, I'm going to be real and shut. You're not going to reach those goals and dreams doing what you did last year, because if you would have did it already. So you got to get around people that's going to be real and upfront with you. That's going to say, hey, Michelle, that's not going to work. That's not working. That's not going to work. You need to be focusing on income producing activities. So consistency, and over and over and over and over. If you want to get better at inviting, well, guess what you got to do? You got to do more of it. If you want to get better at presenting, well, guess what you got to do more of it. If you want to get better at following up, which I'm not that good at, but I got to do more of it to get better, and etc. It doesn't matter what part of the business you want to get better at, you just got to do more of it on a daily example. It's kind of like that rock in the stream. A lot of people say, well, rock in the stream, where did that come from? Well, guess what? In the stream, over time, the water will break through the rock. It will crack a rock. It could be a big boulder, but water over time keep pressing at something. So if you got that goal, you got that plateau, maybe you plateaued in your business, you plateaued in your weight. Well, guess what? It takes consistent effort of change over time, and eventually you'll break through that rock and break through that plateau. So again, motivation will go away in the blink of an eye, but inspiration will last forever. Motivation will go away, blinking of an eye. I promise you, we can motivate you right now. And you go outside, you drive down the street, you have a flat tire, and this man, you're mad, you're upset. Like, man, I got a flat tire. It seems like it messed up your whole day. So motivation will go like that. But inspiration, when you're inspired to do something, and when you're inspired to really, when you really figure it out and you really want something and you're inspired to go get it, it will last a lifetime. So, and this is the last thing for sure. It's 3 types of people. And there's 3, and you got to figure out which one you're going to be in at the end of 2022. When we come back next year on the Wednesday of on that January 2023, you're going to either be one of these types of people. You're going to be one of those people that say, hey, I made things happen in 2022. I did it. I went all in. I made it happen. I helped so many people lose weight. I helped so many people grow a business. I even grew my business, and I leveled up and transformed my family's life forever. Or you're going to be like, you're going to be that type person that said, you're just going to watch things happen. You're just going to sit back and say, hey, I'm going to join every Zoom. I'm just going to be there. And man, I wish that would happen for me. Or you're going to be that type person that just say, what just happened? What did I miss? This company took off and I just sat there and just, what happened? Like, what happened? So which person are you going to be? Ask yourself that. For me, I'm going to be that person that's going to make it happen. So with that, that's my part on change. And so just be willing to change, everybody. That is what I wanted to share today. So Michelle, I'm going to kick it off to you, my partner in crime. And I know you got some golden nuggets. So let me get my pen and my paper ready.
I'm sorry you were looking at the top of my head that whole time. I was feverishly taking notes. That one was awesome, Ant. And what I want to talk about with change this morning is that it's a process. It is not something that you just decide, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. That's great. That's a first step in that process. Right? But it is a process, and there are a lot of elements, a lot of things that go into bringing about change. And sometimes those processes, the steps that you need to take, they might not render a result right away. It might be something that you're doing, and you think to yourself, man, is this making a difference? Is it helping? Should I really keep doing this? And during that grind, like it's easy. That first day is easy. That motivated, I'm excited, I'm on fire, let's get in and do this. That step is easy because it's exciting, it's fun. You have a vision that you're on fire for. You see that weight drop on the scale that first day, and you're like, yes, I'm doing it. But where it gets hard is in the day in and the day out after that, because it takes the discipline to be able to continue pushing through, even when you're not seeing the enrollments that you think you should be seeing, even when you're seeing accounts drop off and people go inactive, even when you don't see that number on the scale moving. When it comes to meaningful change, it's so important to identify what it is that you want to change. What is your end goal? Because if you don't know where you're going, if I don't know what it is about my health, my business, my relationships that I want to be different, how can I know how to get there, what steps to take, or if I'm making any progress, right? So would you guys do me a favor and put in the chat some of the places in your life, your business or your health goals specifically, that you feel like you need to see some change in 22. That could be maybe in how you're like the amount of income producing activity that you're doing. Perhaps that's improving your conversion rate from talking to people to either new rep or customer. Maybe that's improving your follow-up skills, right? So there's, I see more income producing activity. That's one for me that is big. And, it's important to not confuse movement with productivity, right? Just because we're busy doesn't mean we're accomplishing anything. It needs to be intentional actions that are moving us forward towards our goal. I'm going through a certification process right now to get a nutrition specialist certification. And as I'm going through this, I'm listening to the lectures, and they're talking about metabolism. They're talking about the way that the body converts food into energy. And before you can ever get to the point where you have energy that's usable by the body, there's like 7 different metabolic steps that have to take place. You don't see them, you don't feel them, but without them, nothing happens, right? So there's going to be steps in our business and our health to create change that are going to need to happen. And maybe we don't see those, the result of those right away, right? That's okay. I just want to encourage you with that right now, that if you have identified what is it that I'm working towards, what is my goal, what is the change I want to see happen, clearly define it so that you know, how am I going to change it? Put together a plan, action steps with that change, and then decide, I'm doing this 100%. And I love what you're talking about there. Like, that's really profound with the vending machine example. You're not going to get it if it's just almost there. It's not gonna cut it. And I think there's something psychological that happens to us when we set out, like we set it, let's just say a New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. That's an awesome goal, right? But if we don't commit to it, if we don't go at it 100%, if we cut corners, if we skip the workouts we said we were going to do, if, well, it's a birthday party, so I'll eat whatever and I'll get back on track tomorrow. If we let ourselves down, there's something psychological that happens that says, I can't trust myself. I didn't do it right before. I tried and I came up short. and we sabotage our trust in our own self. And so as I was driving yesterday, I'm thinking about this process of change and that committing to it. And I don't want to get to the end of this year and wonder what I could have done different. What, in the sense of, I didn't hit my goal. I didn't achieve that title advancement. I didn't accomplish the change I wanted at the start of the year. And to look back and say, I didn't give enough effort to it. I put in 80%. Well, it's like water boiling. If you get to 210 degrees, you're so close, but it's not enough, right? You need that 1% more, that 1 degree more that you're going to break over. You know, it's like if you fill a glass with water to get it to the brimming point where it now starts to spill over the side. It won't spill over the side until it gets that last drop. And then it starts the cascade. Right? So as we're setting out for that change, we need to identify what it is. How, like, I cannot bring about a change if I don't know what it is. And there's that saying that says, nothing changes unless something changes, right? If we continue doing the same things we've been doing, we're going to continue to get the same things that we got. And I don't know about you, but I am tired of getting the same thing. I'm tired of it because I know I can achieve more. I just can, because I haven't been giving 100%. And that's kind of hard to admit, if I'm being honest. And sometimes it starts with that step of saying to yourself, admitting to me, I haven't been doing everything that I can do. You know, we talk a lot about divorce the outcome and marry the process. That's how it is with the change. If you're not committed to the process that says, I'm going to do it and I'm going to keep doing it and I'm going to keep pressing on because I know what the change is. I know what the target is, what the goal looks like. And I'm going to continue doing what I know needs to be done until I reach the goal. You know, you might go through 100 leads and you talk to them and you talk and you talk and you reach out and you connect and you share information and you get them in front of a presentation. And you're not getting the conversion that you want. Guess what's happening? In those 100 contacts, in those presentations that you've done, that you haven't acquired a new rep or a customer, you're growing. You're getting better. You're developing the skills that are needed to be a high achiever, to be successful. How many of you have ever planted a garden or planted flowers in the garden? Right? My kids were asking about this the other day. You know, well, Mom, what happens with a seed? How does it become a plant? And there's a lot of stuff that happens underground that you don't ever see before it comes to the surface, right? It has to go through a lot of transformation in the dark, in the ground, where that seed is the only thing that knows what's happening. But it's continuing to go through that process so that it can come up, so that it can sprout and flourish. And so our change, sometimes that's mindset. Honestly, sometimes we have to break through a mindset that's hindering us And it takes deliberately and with an intention to take those thoughts captive and say, no, I'm not going to think that way. Maybe I've had a habit of choosing the negative or seeing every situation that comes at me with a negative mindset. It's an inconvenience. It's a frustration. I don't like people. I can't believe they did that to me. And that builds a habit. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, our consistent thoughts build a habit and a pattern. And so if we decide, I'm going to change that, it's a process. You might do great on the first 5 things, and then somebody really torques you and you're like, then maybe we fall short, right? But you don't just give up because you got frustrated. You did great for the first 5 things of the day, and then somebody really made you mad. Like, you don't give up on your efforts, right? To improve that habit and behavior. You look at it and you go, okay, that one wasn't so great, but next I'm going to keep working on that skill. I'm going to keep changing that pattern, that thought. And that's where that consistency comes in. Consistency doesn't mean that you get it perfect every time. Working on progress, on changes, on goals, it does not mean that you will do it 100% perfect every time. But what's important is that you keep doing it. You don't get derailed by a no, by the scale moving in the wrong direction for a couple days, or maybe there's just no change for a while and you have a plateau. Those plateaus come in business, they come in fitness, they come in weight loss, they come in relationships. And even when we're moving up and forward and towards our goals, it's not just a steady curve, right, that comes up. It's like jagged. It's like, it's like you move forward and you go back, you move forward and you go back. The important thing with it is that you consistently move the needle forward in the right direction. So for this week, and as we hit the ground running in 2022, I want you guys, and I'm going to do this as well, I want us to sit with ourselves for a little bit and identify what are the things that need to change in my life. What are those areas that I need to begin taking steps? Sometimes those steps will be truly within yourself, and that's where it starts. It won't show externally for a while. But as we begin to build better habits, we begin to build consistency and giving what it takes. And today, what it takes might be different than what it takes tomorrow, but you give what it takes in that moment. So this week, sit with yourself and identify, where do I need change in my life? Once you know it, what that area is, figure out, what do I want that change to look like? This is the change area. This is the spot that needs to look different. When I have achieved it, what does that different look like? So then we can begin to move forward towards that change, giving it 100%, building the consistency like Ant said. So let's change for the better. Ant, I'll let you close us.
Hey, I hope y'all got some good nuggets from this. I was talking to myself, and I'm pretty sure Michelle was pointing the fingers right back at herself as well, because we know what we have to do this year to make it better than it was last year and the year before that. But that's all the past. All we can do is learn from it, and let's go make it happen. Keep that positive mindset every single day. You are capable of achieving anything you have a vision for. So if you can dream it and you can think about it, you can get it done. You just gotta be willing to change it, guys. Hey, I'm gonna hit the unmute button so y'all can tell Michelle how awesome she is because she rocks all the
And
time.
Aunt, we love you, Aunt.